Broadcasting live, this is KMA Talk Radio. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of fine cigars.
I like to smoke them like the Winston Churchill, like John Kennedy, yeah. Remember Coach Red Auerbach, smoked up for victory, yeah. Well, you can take my wife, you can take my car, but you can't take my big cigar. My cigar.
Good morning to all our loyal listeners, libertarians, and lovers of the leaf. Honest Abe here from KMA Talk Radio, joining you guys this fine Saturday morning with my two trusted cohorts, the Italian scallion, Paul DeGracco.
Hey.
Where is my favorite meatball? Where are you today? That's like a whole new scene.
Listen, I am at the palatial DeGracco Vero Beach Resort. We had breakfast this morning. I had a whole ordeal this week, and
before we get into ordeal,
kind of got stuck.
Let's get our other brother on, the southpaw from South Philly himself, Alex Tavella.
Good morning. Good morning. How we doing?
Smoking headquarters live there in Boynton Beach, Florida.
Yes.
So what is the Salacio? Where are you at in Vero?
My good morning. I'm reading some of the comments. So my family has a home in Vero Beach where they come to for they kind of do the snowbird thing, and
wow. Alex,
that's where I am.
Kidding when he calls you an aristocrat, man.
He's an aristocrat.
It's a duplex. It's not like a big giant mansion or anything. It's a 3-bedroom house. It's nothing crazy, but yeah. So
I feel like the Mohegan Sun. So what, are you? Did you do another Disney trip? Is that why you're up at Vero?
We did do a Disney trip, yeah, and we weren't going to go to the parks.
The whole country's shutting down again, and you're going to Disney.
We weren't going to renew our.
Except
let me tell you something. That's true, but let me tell you something. I felt safer in Disney with the rules and regulations in there than I did like out and about in like normal life. So everyone has to wear a mask. The second somebody has their mask off, if they're not stationary at least 6 feet away and eating or drinking, they kick them right out. They take them out.
They kick them out of the park.
It's no joke.
Like no warning. There's no 3-strike rule. Nothing.
So when your 5-year-old,
if you're walking around without a mask,
if your 5-year-old takes his mask off, they kick you out of the park.
Yeah. So the hardest thing is that it's 2 and over that has to wear a mask. So imagine trying to get a 2-year-old to wear their mask.
So when your 2-year-old takes off his mask, they kick you out of the park?
No, they are a little bit easier on that. So, but they're on you like that. The second, like flies on shit, man. The second he took his mask off, somebody was right there saying, "Hi, we're just going to need you to put your mask back on, sir." I'm like, all right.
That's Disney for you. They're quick. One of my favorite books is Disney Ran Your Hospital.
Was it?
I don't even know what that is.
Great book. There's a great book called If Disney Ran Your Hospital. It's a business book, and it was originally written geared towards hospitals, but it's about the Disney structure and how Disney runs their company, and to grasp that, how to run your own business. It's a really good book. You know, Disney and customer service and experience and how to integrate that in your own business.
Specifically about running a hospital, though?
Well, it was written specifically about running a hospital because the person that wrote it kind of worked. But I mean, it translates to really any business, especially dealing with people. Great book.
Wow. All right. Yeah. I mean, I read all those books, the Imagineering stuff and the hospitality stuff for Disney.
I have
but
not read If Disney Ran Your Hospital.
No, I haven't. I'd like to, but I don't run a hospital. So
what possessed you to go to Disney? I'm just curious.
We had an opportunity. Our friends of ours have the timeshare. My family has it too, but we banked our points because we knew we weren't going anytime soon. And they said they were going to lose like 40 points or something, which is a night stay in a deluxe resort. And they're like, if you're comfortable with driving up there, we'll let you use our points. So we said we were going to go stay at the boardwalk and not go to the parks. But then my sister-in-law met us. We got a nice big suite. So my sister-in-law met us. They watched the kids the first night, and Stephanie and I said, let's go see if we're comfortable in the parks, just you and I. We went, felt pretty comfortable, renewed our passes, and brought the kids to Magic Kingdom and Epcot the next 2 days. So, they stayed in the stroller. Axel wore his mask. It was fine. I mean, we went on 1 or 2 rides, nothing crazy, and just enjoyed the atmosphere like we always do.
What would have made you felt uncomfortable?
I don't know. People walking around without masks, I guess. I don't know. There's Purell literally. I don't know where these people. I mean, I guess it's Disney. They probably make it themselves, but there's literally Purell everywhere, and none of them are empty. Like, they're just constantly available everywhere. Hand washing stations. Everybody has to wear a mask. There's all the stuff is spaced out, so you can't sit next to other people. You're at least 6 feet away anywhere you go.
So on the rides,
it's not packed.
The rides is like every third cart has a person in it. Like every
Right.
Yeah.
So I just want to make sure
apart the rides are.
Just want to make sure I understand this right. So your aristocrat friends had a suite at Disney just waiting to be used by you.
Well, we had to buy another.
He
night
runs in
too,
big
because we wanted to
circles,
stay
man.
another night.
Well,
Yeah. So anyway, we stayed at a nice resort. We had a good time.
Well, last night bought another virtual event to a close. Zonapalooza finished 2-day broadcast last night. I was down there last night. That's why I'm here in a hotel room in Miami. Didn't feel like driving back up late, but it was a good time, man. Those guys put a lot of effort. Seems like everybody had a good fun. It was very responsive. So another cigar virtual event goes down in history, I guess, Zonapalooza, and I'm not sure there's another one scheduled, but the next big one will be the Great Smoke in 2021, unless, I don't know if there's anything else scheduled for this year, early this year.
Well, we'll have to ask Coop when we bring him on.
No, yeah, Coop would know. But yeah, the Great Smoke. So we just got a floor.
I'm excited, man.
Yeah, I'm excited and I'm petrified. We were talking about it a little bit last night. Eric had I'm looking at Eric's, little, I don't know how big that conference room is, but I'm looking at all this little set they built and all the wires and the cables. And, he had some technical problems. And I'm looking at our floor plan of about, I don't know, 12,000 square foot building with 3 sets and 2 hub stations and electronics. Like, oh man, something's going to go wrong. I just feel it, So, but we're pretty excited, man. It's coming along. We finally got a floor plan that we've been waiting for a while. So we know what it's going to look like, kind of. Now we have to work on this. What was that?
Raj.
Your dad's watching.
Oh, Roger Dodger. What's up, Roger Dodger? So yeah, we're excited. We're got the floor plan. We finally know what it's going to look like, which is big. And ticket sales are going, and we're getting a lot of support. We got retailers throwing watch parties for their customers in their shop.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. We got some very cool support, and the country's getting excited. And I think it's awesome that Michael was available and come down to co-host. That was a big press release. That was this week. I think we released it this week. Early this week. Yeah, my weeks are blurred. We released it this week.
I'll tell you what, it is nice to see too, especially with all the bickering that's been going on lately in the cigar. It's nice to see like a retailer saying, "I'm going to support another retailer, buy his cigars," which I probably have sitting in my own humidor. To come have a party and have a good time at my shop with my guys. Man, so it's cool to see.
So anybody out there who isn't listening, if you haven't gotten your ticket yet, head over to thegreatsmoke.com. Get your party in a box while they last. We only have a limited amount. We don't know if they'll run out or when they'll run out, but the box alone is going to be an absurd, epic package, killer deal. Literally, it's 40 top premium cigars delivered to your door for like $169. And I think when we add up the value of the cigars and the whole package, it's literally over a $430 value. So if you ever bought a ticket,
that's awesome.
Yeah, and we got cool stuff. I'm still negotiating with companies of stuff that's going in the box.
Absolutely.
So yeah, this is still like a whole evolution in the process. I haven't said the company's name yet because it's not finalized, but there's this really good sausage charcuterie company, and they got this very special blend recipe that they've been working on, and we're actually talking about maybe making the world premiere of it at the Great Smoke, where everybody would get maybe one of these sausages in the kits, and we could talk about it. So
that is awesome.
Yeah,
that is so
in
awesome.
Chicago.
There's cool stuff we're still working on in the process, and it'll be an evolution, as time goes on. But I think in our plan sound. I think our team has got a good, vision of accomplished. The rest is just going to come down to execution.
Absolutely.
If a huge thunderstorm doesn't happen and takes out the power grid and we can't broadcast, we should be fine, I think. So that's that.
You'll live. It'll be fine. People
Yeah,
understand
it'll
the
be fine.
situations now.
Did you guys watch La Zona Palooza?
No, because I got a beef with Eric too, because I swear that on this show he said you won't be able to be in the Zoom, but we'll broadcast it live on Facebook for everybody to watch.
He did say that. He said that.
Well,
did not happen.
Well, I'll tell you what. First off,
I didn't see it either.
It could have been a technology audible, right? Because we definitely know where that's been, right? It could have been a technology audible. But the other thing is, Eric really seldom ever has the facts.
Correct. That's true.
So
I was going to say we should have asked Junior.
Yeah, if you really want to know how something's exactly going down, you should have asked Junior.
You're right.
Junior will tell you the facts. Eric's like, oh, bro, I just walk in. They
just show up. I just do what they told me to do. I'm a man.
They just told me to say, "What's up, bro?" But no.
What is this that we're doing today?
What was that?
What is this that we're doing today, bro?
Right, exactly.
No, but it was fun. It was good hanging out down there. They had a good setup, and I hope it was a very successful event for them, because even though it's virtual, I can tell you that stuff is stressing. You still get stressed.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of devil, Paul, who we got on the show today? I see a very special guest. First time. I love when we have first time guests on the show.
And it's rare that we have somebody from a company that we've never had before, right? So we've never had anybody ever on the show from AJ Fernandez.
It's great for me? They're all first time. I love it.
Well, that's for you.
That's true.
But I think it's because we would book them and then they would leave the company before we would get them on the show. I think that was part of the problem. But with a 2-year track record going on here, man, it's great to have somebody finally from this company on our show, because it's a pillar. Company's a pillar of production in the cigar industry and the brands they're making. So let's give a warm welcome to Omar Fernandez of AJ Fernandez Cigars.
Omar.
Good morning, everybody. How you guys doing?
Good.
You are broadcasting from your hub center there down in Miami, Florida. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Right at the headquarters here. Figured it'd be the most quiet place on a Saturday morning.
The rumor has it you haven't left that office in the last 8 months.
Almost 2 years now.
Oh, 2 years. Okay. 2 years.
Yeah. It's fun to be here. It's relaxing. Get to smoke indoors and actually get some work done too, which is a plus. But yeah, it's a very comfortable environment.
Well, Omar, since you've really been a first-time guest on our show as well as your company, why don't we just start with telling people who you are? What is your exact position in the AJ Fernandez company?
Well, I'm the director of operations, and I wear a lot of hats here. I do a lot of things from the daily operations to talking to great retailers around the country and handling all sorts of aspects. We put together a really good team here at AJ Fernandez. I think it's honestly one of the best teams out there, and we're very proud of that. So yeah, run the day-to-day operations of what are AJ Fernandez's core lines, his portfolio lines here in the United States.
So you're kind of handling all the activity here in the state side.
Absolutely. Yep. That is correct.
Well, that's a pretty big position.
Yeah, definitely. AJ's put his faith and trust in me, and I appreciate it. And we work every day as a team here to make sure that we live up to those expectations, because they're really high.
Good. Well, now that we know what your position is, I want to get to. We're basically going to walk your history, since basically you came out of the womb till today. You're the pinnacle of your career, being on KMA.
It's gonna be a long conversation.
No, yeah. But seriously, where are you from originally?
Born and raised here in Miami, Florida.
Okay. Miami.
Right here. Never left. Well, I did leave, traveled a little bit, obviously, but born and raised here, and went to school here in Miami, and went to college here in Miami as well. I didn't want to leave. I had mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, everybody's here. Why would I want to leave? That great home cooking.
Did you play any sports in college?
Yeah, played some baseball.
Baseball.
In Miami-Dade and at FIU as well. Some Division I baseball. I was a pitcher. So that was actually that's how I ended up in this country, because my grandfather left Cuba in the mid '50s to play professional baseball for the Washington Senators.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then he got hurt here after a couple years. Went to Mexico to play there. Played 9 years in the Mexican League, and then he couldn't go back to Cuba. By that time, it's mid to late '60s.
So you were close to being Mexican.
That is correct.
Mexican.
Yep.
Mexican.
Could have been Mexican, just like our rep out of Texas, Hector. Yeah, could have shared that.
What happened after your grandfather finished playing in Mexico?
Well, he finished there. He didn't want. He had a lot of good friendships and whatnot, but he knew he didn't want to stay there. He wanted to come here. The family had already settled here in Miami, so he wanted to come here to Miami, and then he started coaching high school baseball all the way through till the time I graduated high school.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you were a pitcher, and you played minor league baseball too, I hear.
Yeah. So I signed with the
Your career
Dodgers.
didn't end in college. So
No.
you moved on.
Played a year in minor league ball with the Dodgers the year after the strike, and then they had to let a bunch of people go. So I usually now that they won the World Series, and congratulations to the Dodgers. I joke around and say, they didn't have to wait that long. If they wouldn't have let me go, could have won a few.
Wow. So what was your best pitch?
I had a big 12-6 curveball.
Oh, 12. Wow.
12-6 big curveball. Low 90s fastball. Normal stuff. Slider, changeup.
I'm trying to find a picture of you.
Go on eBay. My baseball cards are there. I'm not selling them.
Nice.
What was the team? What was the farm team name? Was it the Dodgers or
the Great Falls Dodgers?
Okay, I'm looking.
Yeah, if you look on eBay, you see that. And then I played another year of independent ball in Richmond, Indiana, with the Richmond Roosters, and that was really, really fun. Paul and I were talking about that earlier, and it was a great time. Just no money, It was $650 a month gross.
Ooh.
So Abe, remember when I told you how when I worked in minor league baseball, I made more money as the on-field host part-time than most of the players?
Yeah.
He confirmed that. We paid our guys, our league minimum was $850 a month. They paid them $650 a month to play baseball and travel, and it was 72 home games, right? So 144 games.
Yeah. So I knew where every Western Union was, because money had to be coming every week, because you can't survive on that.
Who was sending you the money?
Family.
Wow.
Yeah.
So basically, they want you to starve in the hopes that you may make it to the majors.
Right.
Yes. That is correct.
It's kind of like legalized slavery.
In a way, yeah.
I mean, it's kind
of. Yeah.
$650 a month.
It was brutal.
There's 5,000 other people that maybe as talented as you that want to do this gig. I guess they look at it that way.
From anywhere in the world.
Right. From anywhere in the world.
Right. Is this you, Omar?
That's it. That was a few pounds ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
What year is that for?
That's 1995. I don't know why they did it in black and white. It makes me look
Right. It looks
like
like
I'm 87 today.
Yeah. Jesus.
Yeah, I was like, wow, he was playing with Babe Ruth.
Right.
Yeah. Wow.
They're trying to age you.
Yeah, I finished second behind Cy Young,
How long does somebody spend in the minors before they either move up or they say, yeah, I'm not going anywhere?
That varies. I played with guys that have been there 10, 11 years. I had played with some guys that had a plan. They said, listen, I'm gonna do this for.
Let me ask something. At 10 and 11 years, it's not that they still believe they're going to get picked up. They just made that their way of life.
I think deep down inside, they would not let go of the dream.
Really?
Yeah. These guys are married. They have kids. They make it work. And it's a lot of support from family, but they don't give up on that dream. They won't give up on the dream.
They have girlfriends in every city that they travel to.
That too.
Well, it's just like It reminds me of the guys I was hanging with at the shop last night. There's a group of guys that comes down. They come to Florida once a year, and they play these baseball tournaments. It's a traveling team. Shout out to the Diamond Dream Mustangs.
Yeah.
But they come down every year. They play tournaments in Florida. They were just out in Arizona a couple of weeks ago, and these guys don't get paid at all. But they're just a traveling team that love the sport, still want to play. They're 50 and up is the league, but this is just what they do, whether they get played or not. Some of these guys probably had dreams, and this is what they have, but they love it. These guys are baseball
You
guys.
got to understand, Abe. Some of these guys in a lot of these leagues, especially the independent leagues, are still working with former major league guys. Ricky Henderson was in our league.
Yeah.
Controversially, John Rocker was in our league. Like we worked Tony Clark from the Yankees. Like I met a lot of these ex major leaguers that had played for a few years that just don't want to stop. Some of them have the money to just do what they want to do. Some of them don't, but they kind of feed off of their energy because these guys were in the big show. So they're like, and he's 45. Ricky Henderson was playing with us when he was in his late 40s, and it's just. They're playing with Ricky Henderson, on the field with them. They're like, look, this could happen. Like this guy knows people. I think it keeps feeding the dream.
Yeah.
But so Omar, how close did you get to coming from the minors up into the majors?
Not close enough because 95 when I signed was the year after the big strike before steroids saved baseball really, and it was a tough time. The Dodgers had a very big farm system, and at the end of the season, the rumor was they needed to release 60 guys. 60 guys is a lot. That's over 2 teams, and they needed to let them go to make room for to make financial sense. So the people that they had the least amount of money invested in, it didn't matter who you were gone. And that's why I went independent league, and that in and of itself is a business at a much smaller scale because that farm team has owners that live locally and want to make money. So it becomes difficult. I tell a lot of people that once you go past college, it really becomes a business. I mean, high school is probably the most purest form. You're all friends. There's that brotherhood. But professional baseball, it's every man for himself, even though it's a team sport in a way. You get some brotherhoods, but there's a lot of competition. Everybody wants your job.
Right. So let me ask you a question because I worked in minor league baseball for 10 years in the independent leagues, but I did, I was the marketing guy. I did the community relations for a while full time, but for those 10 years, I was the on-field promotions host, right? So we build ourselves. I mean, we had major leaguers on our team. We had guys that got called up to the majors, but it was we did surveys with people, and 90% of the people that would leave the ballpark didn't know what the score was when they left. They didn't know who won the game. So it was more for us about the family entertainment aspect. As a player, did you hate guys like me that would like run out for the 90 seconds between the half innings and do like the duck dash and the stupid crap on the field and get in your way? I mean, especially as a pitcher, because you basically had your time to warm up and you had us running around like lunatics on the field. What was that like in the minors? Did you experience that in the minors?
Yeah, I actually enjoyed it because as a starting pitcher, you only play every 4 or 5 days, so you had time to, the days that I wasn't pitching. I got a wristwatch on, I got sneakers on because all I did was run, keep a book. Right. So when the guys that did what you did would break that monotony. It's like, hey, I'm going to need your help. Can you go to first and help the kid, who's running the bases or whatever? The best thing that happened, I had a situation. I didn't know this was going to happen. We had, I don't know if you guys remember Morgana, the kissing cat Bandit. She came out on the field. I've got some pictures of that.
I'll look it up.
Yeah.
Dave, you know who that is?
Yeah, she would run out and kiss players during the game.
Yeah. And that was awesome. That was really, really cool. You got to pull up a picture of her.
Oh, that's
oh my God.
Oh yeah.
you never had her on the in 10 years?
Paul, you should get her on KMA. See if she's still around.
Yes.
No, I don't think we had. Let me put the picture up now. Wow.
Yeah.
This is a back view of her, but
and you should see how she was running around on the field.
Oh yeah.
Damn. So she came up to you?
Yes. and I've got pictures of that. My wife keeps them tucked away at home, but you know. And we also I got to meet Pete Rose on the All-Star game, and we had in the minor league. They had him come out, and
really nice guy, right? His son played for our team
cool.
for years, and he came to our ballpark in socks and sandals and slides, and just sat in the dugout the whole time. What was that like to meet Pete Rose?
It was surreal. You know, it seems as though everybody, and this is, now keep in mind, this is mid to late 90s, and everybody's telling him, man, you deserve to be in the Hall, and I'm in that camp. I mean, it's enough, you know. It's time to get him in there.
I agree.
So, life after baseball, what happens?
Well, I always liked cigars. I had an uncle who smoked cigars, and I loved going to his house. And so I got involved with some people here in Miami. Actually, right as I finished my career, opened up a cigar factory in Little Havana in 1997. Very small, 6-7 hand rollers. Most difficult time in the world to buy tobacco. There was no tobacco.
What made you? I mean, why factory? You know, most people when they think about, okay, I'm going to do cigars, they'll think about a store. What made you say I'm going to do a factory? There
was always I was always intrigued about how to put blends together and how tobacco came together and from different regions. And what if you did this with this and tried this filler with this blend over here and then when I get into it, of course, you can't buy tobacco anywhere because you couldn't find anything. The only thing that was on the market was Indonesian everything, you know, filler, binder, wrapper, you know. I remember going to Ernesto Perez Carrillo at that time, was still at El Crédito with La Gloria Cubana, and would beg him to give me a couple pounds of Dominican filler just to roll a few cigars to be able to do something. And he was pretty much the only one who would help us out at that time, whether it was cellophane or whatever we needed. He would help us out. And by the way, he had a line around the corner because everybody at that time wanted to buy the Miami-made Wavels. You know, that was interesting times.
Isn't that something? He's at the top of his game, and you're not the first person. I remember, I think it was Jonathan. Pretty sure it was Jonathan Drew, who was telling me a story early on in the factory where they were having some kind of production issue and they just couldn't really figure it out. And Ernesto had gone down to look and give them advice and help them out early on in the day. I mean, just there's so many stories of Ernesto being that cool. But I mean, you were going around to everybody. Nobody was giving you nothing at that time, right?
No, nothing. I remember. I've heard Jonathan mention that story.
Yeah,
Ernesto, and
I got a lot of in my brain. I was hoping I had it right.
Yeah. We had Miami Cigars, our first distributor, and I remember my first RTDA at that time, which became the IPCPR, which is now the PCA. I shared a booth with Gurkha, a 10x10, very simple. And I remember showing up the night before the show starts. Everybody's in the lobby. It was in Orlando, and everybody's just hanging out. And I show up with a pickup truck with tables, cigars, and you name it, and started carrying the stuff in. And Neto saw me there and said, got his guys and said, hey, help them out, set them up over there. Come on, I'm going to introduce you to people. And took me to the lobby. I'm in shorts and a T-shirt. Everybody's dressed nice. And he introduced me to everybody there. I mean, it was surreal, you know, because I knew all these people. I didn't know them. I knew of them. I had smoked their cigars, but to get to meet them and now I'm sharing the show floor with them was amazing, you know.
Now, I'm sure people are going to ask because they don't know, but they're seeing the name Omar Fernandez of AJ Fernandez. Is there any direct relation to AJ Fernandez?
No, I haven't been able to figure it out yet. I don't think there is.
You haven't called, what's that tree called? Or
23andMe or whatever it is.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. I haven't done
Ancestry.
Yeah, I haven't checked that out yet. You know, knowing AJ has so many cousins. Everybody's a cousin. There's tons of cousins. So now that I've met a lot of cousins, I don't even know if I am or not, but I don't know if I even want to be. It's a lot of people.
It's not a very select group.
But then again, you know, he's got a lot of cousins. You know, remember he comes from Cuba. Not a lot of entertainment out there, not a lot of TV. So, you know, big families, you know.
Right.
So other than it being a cool fact that your last name is Fernandez and you ended up getting a job with a company called AJ Fernandez, do you ever go out there and people mistaken you and think it's your company?
Oh my gosh, yeah. This is it's crazy. I don't know how many times I've actually people come up and say, "Oh, AJ, come here. I love your cigars. Can you sign a box for me?" And I'm like, "All right, I just signed Omar Fernandez,
That's
just like I did when I played baseball."
that's great.
And people tell me, "Hey, I met you, 2012 in whatever city." That wasn't me, And then I'm talking to them, and I'm like, "How did they must have think that AJ got Rosetta Stone and really worked at it and
Right.
has no act, Because the English became perfect. AJ speaks very good English. He understands a lot, and he speaks good English. He's a little shy about it. Not a little bit, a lot.
Well, I had the pleasure of being down there. He was a gracious host, great facility, and very busy guy, man. He's pumping out
Extremely.
a lot of cigars. You guys are producing, I don't know if I have the stats here, but I think an epic number of cigars a year.
Didn't I
about
read
20-some million.
that? So like you have the capability with the two factories of doing 100,000 hand rolled cigars a day. Is that accurate?
That's correct. Yeah, 100,000 a day.
That's insane.
Yeah, it is.
And he wants to continue to grow. He's constantly his investments, his bank is the tobacco, it's the fields, it's the farms. He's constantly in reinvesting to perfect his craft, to have the inventory, to be able to sustain all these brands, not only his but the rest of them that he does. And that's I've said this before, when you think of AJ Fernandez, he is hands-on in the fields, in the factory. He is a grower, he's a farmer. That's where he finds joy and comfort. I mean, for me, I'd love to be in a beautiful beach with my family around, just enjoying the sun and water sports and whatnot. For him, it's the farms, it's the people there, the interaction, the tobacco. That's it.
Right.
That's where he does his best work. That's where he does his masterpiece.
Does he spend a lot of time in the States?
He used to come about every month. Now with COVID, he didn't. He was here, but last in March, and then just was here 2.5 weeks ago. And his hope, I think he's planning on coming down before the year's out, but he doesn't spend enough time here. But when he's here, he's hyper focused on what's going on over there because they're sending him videos and pictures, and he's involved in every aspect. He's very, very, very hands on.
He's a farm guy to the core, huh?
Yeah.
So when they say under the watchful eye of AJ Fernandez, he's actually there.
Oh, that's it. Yeah. And if it's not so much that if he were to be able to travel more and interact more throughout this country, throughout the world, and people get to know him and see that aspect. But he always tells people, come down to Nicaragua. Now, unfortunately, we can't now. But hopefully when we get this a viable vaccine and everybody can start traveling again, we will be able to get more and more people down there and see where that our motto comes from, the passion, discipline, and great tobacco. It starts with the passion. He's got the passion for that, so he can deliver these cigars to us to enjoy.
And so you guys have farms spread out throughout Nicaragua, right?
Yep.
So
all the growing regions.
I don't know if this is all of them, but I see Condega, Jalapa, Esteli, Pueblo Nuevo, Ometepe.
Yeah.
So how many actual farms are there, or is that not something you guys disclose?
I think last time he told me his personal farms that he has, and he told me 14.
Really?
And then there's co-ops, as most people do with other farmers that might be next door behind you and whatnot. So you've got these, let's say 100 acres, but you're growing in the other 50 next door, 100 behind you. So there's thousands of acres of land that he controls and grows.
These are not small operations by any stretch of the imagination.
So it's not like he's just an Esteli and he goes from his house to the factory to one or two farms. No, it's 2 hours to the farm in Jalapa, and then go to Ocotal at the other factory, and then go to the south, then he's all over the place, and he's driving around these places, and he sometimes will stay overnight in one, and and then come back. But that's what I mean by being hands-on. Most of the time when I call him, he tells me, "Hey, let me call you when I get home because I'm in the middle of the farm and there's no reception out here."
Right.
So that's usually the case. So we normally speak at night.
You need to get the AJ Fernandez chopper and the helipad going.
Yes.
Seriously.
That's what you guys need, though. I do not fly choppers or helicopters.
Yeah. I've only done it
We've already
once.
discussed this. No choppers.
Yeah.
No helicopters. So listen, we skipped a beat, so I just want to connect the dots a little bit better here. You got your own factory in Miami. You're starting your own brand. How does it go from there to AJ Fernandez Cigar Company?
Yeah, so I had my own brand. It wasn't, I had a partner, and we had our difference of opinions and work ethics and whatnot. So I ended up selling him the brand around, I think it was 2004, and kind of got out. I got out a little bit for a little while, and then I came back in 2015. I met a gentleman by the name of Angel Aguayo who released was trying to release a brand called La Gran Llave, and that's where I met AJ. And AJ was a personal friend of Angel's, and they started. AJ said, "Listen, this is what I think the cigar should be," and it was a hit. I mean, it was phenomenal, amazing blend.
The Grand Llave cigar.
La Gran Llave cigar. Michael Argeni had been involved in that as project as well.
It had a little momentary blip in history.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Literally, it just showed up. People start talking about it, and then the cigar disappeared. What happened?
It's kind of it was given exclusivity to CI, and that once it goes there, then the distribution is limited.
Not in the beginning.
No, not at the beginning. Not at the beginning.
Came to my store trying to sell us a cigar.
Yeah.
Because of our long relationship and how many years I'd known him, we bought it in. But it was a good cigar. I mean, I smoked it. I was very impressed with the cigar. And and then we started seeing people talking about it, a little excitement.
Yeah.
And it just died. So why did they end up giving the distribution to CI?
Yeah, because it was a lot more like it wasn't a big seller, if you will. It was more higher priced than what most people were used to paying for an AJ Fernandez cigar. So it went to CI direct and came off the portfolio as AJ added new lines into his portfolio.
And is the brand in production anymore? Or is it gone? Is it a CI?
It's on and off. It's still at CI. So the brand is still at CI.
It's a CI brand now?
It's kind of an exclusive for CI. You never know what could happen, and you might see it again in the portfolio, because AJ does have a lot of brands that he has that gives exclusivity to different people, and he can always at any time bring it back to the stable.
So you're involved in that project, yeah?
Yeah, and then I met AJ. We had talked. We even traveled a few times together, and kind of talked about doing this. He had a lot of shortcomings. He had a lot of pitfalls, and because he's not here hands-on in the U.S., he needed somebody that kind of knew how to maneuver the waters, so to speak. And the time finally came to fruition in March of 2019, where I was able to come on board and start to impose a little bit of the ideas that we had talked about, the things that he wanted to achieve in the United States, building the team that he always dreamt of. And like I told you earlier, I think we have one of the best representations in this country. Our sales force is second to none. And here in the distribution in Miami, we concentrate on supporting our reps and our retailers that are out there. That's our number one function. That's what this building is for, is to give that support to all the fine tobacconists around the country that we deal with, and to reach out to those that maybe we're not dealing with, to have those relationships. This is all about relationships, and you've had tons of people on the show talk about that. And it's very important, because I know, you guys know, any store can survive without brand X. They don't need a specific brand. What is behind that brand? How is that relationship that you've been able to foster? That's very important. It's important to me. It's important to AJ, and our team gets it.
Now, you guys, on top of making cigars for people, you handle distribution, correct?
On a very small scale.
Well,
so, for instance, the first time that AJ did that was with Ramon Ayones, and that came out in 2018. So we have an agreement.
That was a General brand, wasn't it?
Yeah, it still is a General brand. So we manufacture and distribute the Ramon Ayones brand. And so AJ completely redid that blend and the packaging, and really, in my opinion, knocked it out of the park. It is something he's very proud of.
So I just want to make sure I understand. You make it, you sell it, and you distribute it, correct?
That is correct.
So
That is
basically, that's almost more like of a licensing deal that you guys, you're allowed to use the name.
That's correct.
Right.
Yeah, that's exactly what we have, licensing deal.
But you also have a situation like, Viva La Vida, right? So here's
Viva La Vida, yep.
So here's a brand that other guys, they had AJ make. Was that originally an AJ blended cigar?
So originally, the brothers Billy and Gus from Artesano del Tabaco, they were retailers, as a lot of people know, up in New York City.
Excuse me, just want to remind Paul, you might want to maybe mark that down. Maybe we could have those guys on sometime on KMA.
Yeah, so Billy and Gus from Artesano, they had the New York Cigar Inn, for 20 some odd years before they got out of it. They always wanted to do their own cigars. So they approached AJ years ago to talk about a cigar. They went down to Nicaragua. AJ took what they wanted. This is how people blend at the factory, right? Hey, I'm looking for X, Y, Z. I'm looking for these flavors, strength, this type of body and whatnot. And AJ makes samples for them and they try it out. So that's exactly what they did. Now, they were doing this on their own. They had another company doing fulfillment for them. And one day, actually at the IPCPR last year, I got to meet them. I had already had the cigar. I thought it was phenomenal. And I noticed we didn't have anything like that in our portfolio. And I said, you know what? Let me approach the first thing I told them when I met them, I said, hey, how come we don't distribute that cigar? And they said, let's do it. And we started talking. September 2019, we signed a distribution agreement with them. And you can ask them. I'll be honest with you. It has been a pleasure to work with them. Very easy to work with. And now, it's available all over the country. It's a brick and mortar only product. So because they want to stay true to that brick and mortar retailer, so yes, it's harder for some people to get it. However, some of the retailers around the country will ship for them. So you advertise it online, call the store, support, somebody in your local area, maybe a little further away, but everyone should be able to get their hands on that cigar. So it's in our portfolio.
You very seldom hear about these stories working out well. What do you think made this one so successful?
We really understood each other. We really get along on a personal level, and I understand what they're trying to do. They're not trying to squeeze out every single penny. They're trying to make a really good cigar and have really good relations. These guys are all about service, customer service, support, and putting out a good product. That's why they sought out AJ Fernandez to do this. And anyone that follows them on social media will see that. These guys are really, really genuine guys. And they're down to earth. There's no egos there. So that's the reason it has worked out.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
You've got KMA fans asking Alex to bring that cigar in.
Omar, so I have a question. So you kind of handle everything in the States and what's going on and with different retailers and whatnot. Do you guys really have to explain these things to AJ and what really make it seems to me I don't know, but AJ sounds like he's just kind of a farm guy, just wants to make cigars, roll tobacco, be in the farms. That whole other side of the business, is that something that you guys really have to get him on board with?
Well, we have, AJ, early on, I used to call him for everything. And he told me flat out, what did I hire you for? I can't make every decision. These are things you got to do. And so I understood that early on,
I hear
that sounds like something Abe would say.
I hear that quite often.
What did I hire you for? But it's funny because AJ hears about this side of the business from some of the highest level people in the biggest companies in tobacco, so their experiences might not be the same as us or other companies like us. So it really doesn't match up. So yes, we do have to explain a lot of these things and why they work this way and how they work, so that he has a better understanding of a company of our size versus a conglomerate.
Right.
Now,
When you say a company of our size, you're still, I mean, Abe, you correct me if I'm wrong. Of the smaller, I mean, we're not talking like a big giant, corporate company, but you guys are a decent sized company, right? I mean, 100,000 cigars a day potential, at least that you can make. It's still a decent size, but it's still run like a small business, is what you're saying, Omar.
Yeah, no, and the bulk of that usually, remember, AJ makes a lot of great cigars for a lot of different companies, so we're not his brands, his core brands, New World, San Lotano, Dias de Gloria, Bellas Artes, Last Call. Those are his brands that he decided to make, put the blends together because no one's telling him how to do it or what to do it. He picks everything in that, and that's what we sell. The other brands that he makes, the Diesels, the Man of War, Ave Maria, Aging Room, Quattro, which is Cigar of the Year for Cigar Aficionado. We don't. Those don't come to our distribution. So that's a factory customer.
Yeah, there's aspects to the business, Paul. There's the factory, and what's going on in Nicaragua and what they're doing and the size of what they're doing. And then there's the U.S.-based business of what they own and their brands and their footprint here in the States, which, since I've been dealing with AJ Fernandez as a company, has constantly been growing as well and in popularity as well. So, it's good to see. It's absolutely good to see. How did the hurricane affect you guys? Were you guys okay?
Yeah, for the most part, there was more damage towards the north from what I hear, especially closer to Honduras. And Honduras, just from what we're hearing, just got blasted. It's not looking good over there. But there's always, rivers that flood their banks and do some damage. But luckily, there was no tobacco in the ground. And it might delay the growing a little bit, or at least the start of the growing season, because the seedlings are in right now. They should have been planting already, but thank God it was okay. Now it looks like there's another storm from what I was seeing heading possibly in that area. Where's the meteorologist?
That normally, that's nobody who's on right now. That normally would have been Adam. Adam would have known.
That's the Coop's thing.
Right, Coop would know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Coop will know. Well, yeah, because Coop always talks about how every storm that's in existence that's named always ends up in North Carolina at some point. The tail ends of it.
That's funny. So,
But this is a record year for those storms, right? For named storms,
goodness,
I think they said it's a record year.
Yeah.
Record year. I think they made a record for how many at one time too.
Really?
Yep. I think at one time. So Omar, as part of your job, how often are you required to go down to the factory? Because I know, people are trying to get there. There's no flights going in, no commercial flights still going in there.
Yeah, there's some people going through Avianca down there, but you got to jump through some hoops, COVID testing, and you got to go through a third country. So it's a lot harder to get down there. But
go through a third country. So if you do have anything, let's just spread it to another country before you. Is that what they're doing?
Yeah, I guess they don't have direct flights, so they go to a middle of the road place and stop there for a little while, and then they take you over. So it didn't originate from the U.S.
Right. Tricky.
Yeah.
Tricky.
I haven't been down there in a while. I've been down there many times before, and it's a totally different world. It's amazing to see. It's great to see how these cigars are made and how the products that we distribute and that all the consumers enjoy come together. And I really would like to get down there more, have more people visit down there, open up the tours again to the factories, and because AJ's got an amazing compound down there, right in, it's all together, the guest house, the cabanas, the pool, the basketball court, I mean, the big ballroom, every night there's something, and it's grown even more. I don't know when was the last time you went down there, Abe, but
It's been a couple of years.
He told me we won't recognize it. It's gotten that much better.
I made very good friends with like a enormous, gigantic frog. I'm not kidding you, man. There was this frog like the size of a puppy that hung out. Like I'd come into the room and he'd just be sitting at my door. I'm like, holy cow, you could saddle that thing. I mean, they were like this big. And that dude was just like every night hanging out inside my telling me, good night. I'm like, all right, good night, buddy. I forgot I gave him a but I forgot. He was outside my little cabana door every night.
Wow.
Yeah, there's some big frogs out there. But
Yeah,
no,
so AJ's remodeled all that. Since you went, Frankie, who is our sales and marketing director here in the office, he calls it the Paisley Park of Nicaragua.
oh wow.
Because it's got the AJ logo everywhere, just like Prince had it.
Yeah, I think I've seen Facebook photos of the compound, and it's the same thing. Is there a pool?
Yes, the pool,
AJ logo in it or something.
Pool, your shower. Yeah. I mean, everywhere you go. I don't know if the toilet paper
awesome.
also has it on there, but it might by the time we get down there.
It's like Club Med.
Yeah.
Club Med. And yes, Mark, those are real bottles of Pappy. I was in his office. They want to know those real bottles of Pappy.
Oh yeah. Those are the standby ones, waiting to keep growing the collection. Hopefully, one day the collection will be as big as Eric Espinosa's collection is.
I was just at his place last night. I was looking to break in. He had his office locked.
Yeah.
Oh, he's smart.
Where's his Mamma Mia thing?
He
I
was
haven't
on the
seen
air
it yet.
for 4 hours. There's no nobody watching. So yeah, he had that.
Right, if there was a time, that was the time to get in there.
Oh, I'm sorry. You were asking about this?
Oh, Mamma Mia, Mamma Mia.
That's gonna live on forever.
Forever.
That is awesome. Forever. It's so good.
Forever.
So I could see that on a cigar band in a box.
Seriously.
We got to get Junior working on that for next year.
The fact that having made a cigar called "Oh Mamma Mia" with him on it like that is just like
That's it. I mean,
right.
listen, Junior, work on it. We can make it at San Lotano.
Get on that microblend with Junior.
Absolutely.
Meet at San Lotano.
Mamma Mia.
We'll call it Mamma Mia.
And the box can have the little robe around the box.
Oh man!
Oh, look at Paul. Look at
That's
Paul.
it.
Our packaging guru. Look at him.
That's it.
I know, but I don't think like a retailer. I think like a marketing guy. So that would probably drive you nuts to have those stupid little felt robes hanging off it, even if it was paper.
Listen to me. It was better than I thought you were going to say. Let's just put a robe around each individual cigar.
Oh God, no way.
I thought maybe that's what you were going to go for.
No, I at least know better than that.
And look at Omar constantly working. Made and blended by AJ Fernandez. I heard that.
Oh yeah. Eric's basically taken over that factory.
Well, listen, you guys, people making good stuff. Everybody wants to work with you guys. So that's an amazing, great thing. So,
and well, Eric has also said many times on this show. I mean, he talks about the cigars that AJ makes for him, but he also says that like AJ is able to get or I guess grows tobacco that Eric can't get his hands on. That without AJ, there's certain tobaccos that he wouldn't be able to get. I mean, he's said it many times.
I asked AJ questions about this, and AJ buys tobacco as well as, I mean, he grows a lot of it, also buys, trades, they do all that stuff. But what he does after it's in his hands is where the magic happens. And that's something that he has perfected into an art throughout the years. And I think that's pretty much what Eric's referring to, because if you don't have your own tobacco and you're buying tobacco, are you just bringing it in and using it, or are you doing something with that tobacco and re-fermenting and re-aging it and whatnot? And that's the secret to a lot of AJ Fernandez's plethora of blends that he has, that all of them are different in my opinion, and they're all amazing.
The secret sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got to take a little break here. We're coming toward the top of the hour here. We're going to take a little break from our sponsor. When we get back, we're going to have the Coop, see what's going on with Coop. And we're going to have more with Omar Fernandez from AJ Fernandez Cigars. Keep it lit.
Hola a todos, mi nombre es Elmer Suárez de La Flor de Copán en Honduras.
My name is Ernesto Kranwinkel and I'm from La Romana, Dominican Republic. Hola, mi nombre es Diana, soy de Manizales, Colombia.
Días, Freddy Molina desde Estelí, Nicaragua.
Hola amigos, saludos a todos. María Santis, orgullosa de ser puertorriqueña.
Cheers, I'm Oliver, I'm from London, England.
I love H. Upman Añejo.
My favorite H. Upman Dominican cigar is the H. Upman Banker.
My favorite H. Upman cigar is the Hermannsbach.
Favorite H. Upman is the H. Upman by AJ Fernandez.
Mi cigarro favorito es H. Upman Española.
I highly recommend you try the H. Upman 175th anniversary, awarded number 10 cigar of 2019.
One world, together with H. Upman.
Surgeon General warning: cigars are not a safe alternative to cigarettes.
And we're back. Honest Abe here, KMA Talk Radio, with my co-host, the Italian Scallion, Paul Tacacco, and of course our Southpaw from South Philly, our man Alex Zavala, and our special guest today, Omar Fernandez of AJ Fernandez Cigars. Welcome, Omar. Thank you for joining us on this lovely Saturday afternoon. It seems to appear to be starting out to be lovely. I don't know, but every Saturday
it's gorgeous here
when it's a KMA Saturday. What?
It's gorgeous here. I got to tell you. I mean, listen. The one mistake I made is I did not bring cigars with me, and the cigars that we have here, I don't want to smoke, but I'm sitting outside. Look how gorgeous it is here.
Beautiful.
Well, you know. You're an aristocrat.
Bad life.
You can pay for your weather.
Yeah.
I wish we could, man. Think about that. Where we are now in technology, why can't we like salt the clouds and make hurricanes disappear, or do something to it? You would think with all the technology out there, or do they want the storms? I don't know.
Dude, storms make money.
Yeah, they do.
They do.
Make money.
Just nuke them, right? Wasn't that a thing? Like just nuke the hurricanes away.
Nuke them.
That's what Trump said in the beginning of his presidency, I believe, right?
Yeah.
So Omar, we're gonna have William Cooper from cigar-coop.com come in with the news update. We want to talk to him. He usually, he's the real news guy on our show, so he usually has some questions that us non-editorial people don't think of. But I want to ask you. I know we touched on it a little bit about the collaborations, but is every collaboration different? Because AJ's obviously involved in a lot of different things outside of his core brands and his blends. So when we see him, say with Matt Booth and Robert Caldwell and those types of projects, do all of those projects work the same way? Is it just that AJ is making the cigar? Is AJ helping to blend those cigars? Is it like what are those relationships like? And are they all the same? Or are they all different?
They're all completely different. From what I hear, he's got personal relationships with a lot of these different people. So from what I hear, there's certain people that actually go and spend time with him selecting tobacco and working on a blend. And then others, it might just be a phone call. Hey, I'm looking for this, and samples are sent, and maybe they never were there. They've been there before, of course, because they know each other. So every single one of these is different. I know Rafael Nodal is very hands-on when he goes down there. Nick Melillo as well, Foundation, Robert Holt from Southern Draw. It's different, and AJ has a great working relationship with all of these people to come out with these different blends that fit what they're looking for, and they come to him. I feel they come to him. Most people come to him because they know that inventory of tobacco that he has and the access to what he doesn't have,
Right. I think we have Coop.
How does Coop have time to do all this? He's always online.
I believe Coop has a twin.
Yes, I was just going to say that.
I do. I think there's more than one William Cooper.
Oh yeah.
But before I show his feed,
are we going to guess where he is? Are we going to guess?
Yeah.
Paul, so you can't guess.
I know, so I won't guess.
I'm going to say he's in the library.
I'm going with the Dragon Room or whatever the hell that thing was.
I know, with the resort. I know what you're talking about.
Dungeon.
The Dragon Room. I'm waiting to see if any of our listeners have a guess.
Omar, any guess which room he's virtually in?
Man.
I mean, I think the dining room's left.
Okay, I'll take the dining room then. We'll see.
Dining room, the
parlor.
The question is, will there be laundry in the pick this time?
All right, are we ready?
Yeah, I'm going to the library.
All right. I hate this because here AJ saying the garage, basement with candlesticks.
Oh,
the parlor. All right, here we go. Here is Coop. I hate doing this because I hate when Honest Abe is right.
Wow.
Well, for once, he's right.
That's the second time I was right, dude. Second time. But
you
I know
get one right. You had to get one right this week, Abe.
But
so.
I know what you're referring to.
Yes, you do. Hey, Omar, how's it going? Hey, Alex.
Great, Goop. How's it going?
What's up, Coop?
Good.
That was great.
Wow.
What's up? Did you have any coverage of the Zonapalooza this week? Or
yeah,
I know they were all over. I know they were all over social media.
Yeah, we did it on Tuesday night. Bear and I actually did the show. And I like doing it before Zonapalooza. I actually told Hector last night, I said, I'd like to actually do like the pre-show beforehand because there's a lot going on at Zonapalooza. Those guys are really busy, especially when there's like 200 people in the warehouse. So it's a little distracting to say the least. And having them on beforehand, I think worked well for the type of show we do. So I'd like to see them bring that. If it comes back next year, I said, look, I'll come down a couple of days earlier. We'll do something from the warehouse just before the event starts because I think it worked out better this way.
Nice. All right, good. Well, it was an interesting week.
It definitely was. It was a long week. I had 2 long shows because we actually had a long show with Jack, Hector, and Eric on Tuesday as well. So it was a long week for me.
So what did you have any time to check on any news this week while you were so busy, or any new happening?
Yeah, I guess the big story that came out this week, and it wasn't a total surprise to me, but like last week we were reporting about Glenn Loop's last day with the CRA. And yesterday we announced that Loop is joining the PCA, the Premium Cigar Association, as an advisor. And it appears his focus is going to be very focused on this, and it's going to be mostly on the state legislation piece, which a lot of people are getting in 2021 is going to be a big battle because COVID is probably going to lead to revenue streams coming in. And what better way to increase revenue streams coming in than taxes? So I think there's going to be a lot of battles there, and I think that's why Glenn is being brought in for that reason.
You broke up on my end. I don't know if it came across, but he's going to where?
Glenn Loop.
Yeah, I know where.
He is going to the PCA.
So he is going to the PCA. Okay.
He's going to the Premium Cigar Association, focused on state legislation, which is going to be a big focus in 2021 because there's a lot of taxes expected to be enacted as a result of COVID. So I think there's going to be a lot of battles there, and they brought Glenn in to focus on that piece.
Interesting. That is big news.
That is very big news.
Would have been nice
if we got that right. Why couldn't we get that out of him last week?
Would have been nice if we had known that before.
Right.
We did. He said we couldn't talk about it because it wasn't finalized. So I knew, and we were going to break the news on the show, and he didn't want us to reveal it. He had told me the night before that we were good to go and talk about it, and then that morning he said we have something else to iron out, so we can't talk about it. He said I can say I'm involved with the PCA, but he couldn't say it in any official capacity.
I like how Paul didn't even bother to tell us, not even behind the scenes.
I thought I told him. I actually thought I told him.
No, which is really the only reason why we have a pre-show meeting.
Right.
Right? Discuss stuff like that.
Did we have one last week? Well, listen, I also find if there's something we can't talk about, I don't even mention it because I'm so used to saying that we can't talk about something to Adam, and then he talks about it.
Yeah, well, you don't have to worry. Adam's not on the show anymore. So,
do you know how many times I got burned from companies that like we had them on a show, and we used to always ask the "What's new?" question, and they go, "We got nothing new coming out," and then I'm not kidding. The next day, a big print publication has an exclusive story of a major release. It's happened many times to me.
I wonder which big print publication.
We stopped asking that question for that reason.
Right. Right.
because it didn't like we look like idiots otherwise. And so, but I'd rather just say some companies will say we can't talk about it, and I'm okay with that. Some will say we have nothing, and then the next day it's out there.
Wow. So what else is going on, Coop?
Well, there was actually, it's kind of funny. A lot of the news this week came out of AJ Fernandez. And I'm gonna kind of audible to Omar in this one because there's a TAA release that was released this year. It's becoming regular production, right, Omar?
That's correct. That's a cigar that I'm smoking during the show. It's a New World Toro Redondo, which easily translates to round. And that was done last year for TAA exclusive. There were 1,000 boxes released. New World is our workhorse. It's beloved by so many in around the country, around the world. And New World, the Maduro, the original skewer, has always been box pressed. So it was done round as an experiment, and it worked great for TAA. This year we did something different for TAA, and we decided, you know what, let's do an extension. And now you'll have the box pressed and you'll have the round on the shelf.
Does the round only come in one size?
For now, yes. For now, yes. But I like what you're thinking.
And Omar, New World's really still the workhorse brand in AJ. Right? It's a phenomenal success you've had with it over the past 6 years.
Yeah, I mean, it came out. It was Cigar of the Year, Cigar Journal 2014, and from there, it's just been our workhorse, basically.
Yeah, I mean, my son used to work.
Sorry, not to put down Cigar Journal in any way. It's a great publication, but do the ratings in European Cigar Journal translate anything here in the States at all? I mean, that might be a question for you, Coop, more than anybody. Because as a retailer, I mean, I don't ever see it. I mean, Alex has been in retail on the floor. I don't know. No one's ever coming up and saying, "Oh, hey, I was reading the Cigar Journal and I saw that." It's never happened,
right.
Ever. Is that award more significant in Europe than it is here in the States? I mean, I'm just curious and asking.
My thought is it's still it's not the senior one. I'll be straight on that. It's still got more pull than most online media, if not all of online media. So I'd say it's the second most important one. Like, if I look at the shelf talkers, CA is going to dominate the shelf talkers. Then there are companies that they've done very well in Cigar Journal. They'll certainly promote that journal rating. I've seen, like CLE's done it, AJ Fernandez has done it, Rocky.
If I'm a manufacturer and I get rated, yeah, I'm going to promote it.
Right.
It's an achievement. It's an accolade. I'm going to use it. But I'm just more curious on the consumer level. Is that even a receptor for them? Is that even in their range of? Because, I mean, look, you can be anywhere in the spectrum of a cigar consumer. If you get a rating from if you get a #1 cigar of the year of Cigar Aficionado, you could debate how long or how effective or how good that'll be for your company. But customers are walking in; they're looking for it. They've heard of it. They know. Do the American consumer markets react to the European Cigar Journal? Because it's been around forever. I mean, it's been around as long as I can remember, since I've been in this industry for a long time, and it's kind of stood this test of time. I just don't know how I just don't know if it's really more dominant in Europe and than it is here in the States, or have more relevance. I just thought maybe you'd have a little more insight on that.
Well, I mean, here's what I noticed from the retail side, especially like if you slap that on the box, whether it's Cigar Journal or anybody else, the customer just sees the rating. I don't think they different. If you slap that 92 on the box, they just see the 92 or the 89. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Definitely don't see people coming in and say, "Hey, I sold this on Cigar Journal." But if you slap that on there, they just recognize the rating as a rating, not necessarily where it's coming from.
Valid point.
Yeah. I was going to say Alex is right on that, because I go back when my son was working retail, and when the Cigar Aficionado ratings come out, people come in with that magazine and that list, and they point to it, and it's pretty frequent. And that's not taking anything away from what Cigar Journal does. They definitely have a big footprint in Europe. There's they do a good job. But the reality is that's what Abe, you guys can confirm that on the retail end. Do people come in with the Cigar Journals like the Cigar Aficionado?
No, it hasn't happened on our level. I mean, not at our level. I don't know if they're sitting at home and they're looking at it and maybe going online or and still using it. But as Kevin says, basically if they're not taking the cigar prop rating, it's just pointless.
Correct, of course.
They have a rating?
I don't know. I don't know. I know he reviews them. I don't know if he rates them. Does he rates them?
Look, I know no one pays attention to the Coop ones, except when they don't get on it. Then we hear how we do a bad job. But if they're on it, we don't hear from anybody.
You guys need a little more sizzle. See, you need to do it like David Portnoy. You got to have that little stamp every time you make a rating. And listen, they had the dojo guys rate Eric
their own cigars.
Their own cigars comparatively last night on a scale of 1 to 10. And the first score comes out, Jordan's like 8.0. I'm like, rookie score.
Rookie score.
One puff.
One puff. Everybody knows the rules.
One puff. Everybody knows the rules. How one of you review guys haven't started running away with that?
There was a guy who was going to do that. Who was starting to do that, and he passed away. It was Havana Phil was actually starting a video series on something like that. He was, and unfortunately he passed away, but he actually had that idea.
I'll tell you what we did this past year, early on, before we had to shut everything down, when we met with our reps, we did a true blind test. Because some of these guys, we've got reps like Brad up in New York and Connecticut and New Jersey, and he's been with the company for 10 years, and he is a cigar geek. And we blindfolded everybody and gave them different cigars from our portfolio and said, what is this? Nobody knew what they were smoking. Cigars that they said, this is not my favorite, they had good things to say about. And let me tell you, the packaging, the bands, all that affects how people perceive a cigar. So you really, I suggest, and we've been telling people, get together. This would be great once the lounges start to open up. Just have blindfolds and start handing people cigars and say, what do you taste here? People that will say, I don't smoke Connecticut cigars. And they'll smoke a New World Connecticut blindfold. They're like, wow, this is great. I'm picking up this and that and the other. And then when you take it off, you're like, well, how's that Connecticut now?
Well,
it's like the Coke versus Pepsi taste.
Yes.
Well,
I fail that every time.
That's one of the things I'm very excited about. Smoke Inn's new club that's starting in January, which AJ Fernandez will be participating in 2021. Our Connoisseur Club, where we've literally commissioned major manufacturers to make an exclusive a batch of cigars just for our club, and they'll all get them blind, and then there'll be an interaction later on, 2 weeks later, from to figure out what they're smoking from who. From where, but yeah, these are all literally, we've commissioned them, no bullshit, and we've had these guys make cigars a batch exclusively for this club. So more news will be out in December about that, and signups will start for that in January. But that's part of the fun, right? It's kind of blind tasting stuff and learning.
That really is. You're going to find out that there's things that people who have written it off. Some people that won't smoke Maduros, they won't smoke a Torpedo, they won't smoke. Whatever it is, and then they try it. They don't know that. Listen, when you told me about that Connoisseurs Club, I was like, man, this is it. You're going to keep people engaged, and you're going to give them something that they're going to try and they're going to rate without even knowing what it is, what's in it.
Well, the most important part too is we wanted the transparency of the legitimacy of it, right? We just don't want to be telling fake stories about what stuff is. So, not only are we going to have these manufacturers literally, because that was part of the deal. We asked everybody. We're not doing any Fugazi stuff here. We want you guys to make a very small run just for this club. And there's going to be a video of them, talking about what inspired them. The way I like to look at it is I'm commissioning artists to make me a painting. That's right. How I'm looking at it. I'm going to artists. I haven't given any input about Vitola, any input about blend, any input about anything. I'm commissioning you. Make me a piece. And that's kind of how this is taking off. So we'll see how that goes in 2021.
That's exactly how you pitch it to me. You said, I don't nothing that you've made before.
Yeah.
You didn't dip your toe in to try to influence the blend, which is good, because then we'd have to add another title. Master Blender.
No. I don't want to. I mean, I just want guys to look. We explained what the purpose of the club was, how it goes, gonna go, and we want companies that were willing, because some companies weren't willing, because it's a really small run. We're not asking of 5 or 10 like we're doing a microblend. I'm looking for our membership starting small, only 500 people, so we're only asking for 650 cigars that you can roll. Because look, I know every factory they roll a few hundred of anything at any given time when they want to test the blend. Make 500, make 1,000. We want to test this blend out, see how it goes. So
I think you're being really conservative with that number. I really do. Nobody's doing that, and I think you're going to be surprised.
Well, I mean, look, it's more than just a cigar. So the club has a lot of electronic and components. So the membership will grow, but right now we can't because we've had people that we've asked the production, we need this many cigars. So we can't grow our membership because we got guys who've already in the process. We started this process about a year ago. So we know the first few months, manufacturers are making X number, but if we see there's a call and there's demand, we could raise the membership later on in 2021. I don't think it'll be an issue. But we're excited about it. And we're happy you guys are involved. So outside of that, there'll be more news about the Connoisseur Club coming out in December for sure.
Yeah, we just kind of like half broke that, like halfway.
It's kind of been out there a little bit. People have been hearing about it, but I mean, it's getting to the deadline where it's going to break, and I'm sure it's going to sell out fast. But once we know the logistics and the people are liking it, and the manufacturers are liking the feedback and exposure, we can always see where it goes. I liked when we opened up our Cigar of the Month Club. We only started with 150 people.
Yeah,
and thank God we did, because none of the automation worked for 2 month. Because that was one of the things we wanted to make sure the automation would work, and otherwise we would have been having to manually enter stuff for thousands of people. So that was good that we made that move, and we're doing the same thing with the Connoisseur Club. So it'll be cool. So Coop, not that we completely ignored you, man, but what else is going on in the news?
Well, there's some more news out of AJ Fernandez. Epic Cigars, their 10th anniversary cigar, the Epic 10, is getting shipped as we speak. A cigar. It's the first cigar they're doing in Nicaragua, and they're working with the AJ Fernandez Cigar Factory. Get that cigar out. And not only is it their first Nicaraguan cigar, it's going to feature a Cameroon wrapper in a box press format. So I'm actually pretty excited about that cigar.
That's funny, and we've been talking about this the last couple of weeks. Cameroon wrappers making a big swing back, and I love it. I'm a Cameroon guy. I've always been a Cameroon guy. My first full box purchase. All right, anybody out there in KMA land, write down. I'm curious what you remember your first, because I bought sticks for a long time before I would commit to buying a whole box. Right. My first full box purchase was Don Carlos number 2. Wow. Truth. How about you, Coop?
CAO Brasilia, the goal.
The goal. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, have you even bought a box yet? You don't lie.
Yeah,
I bet you Paul hasn't bought a box yet.
No, I bought a couple of boxes of what did I buy? I bought some Alec Bradley. I think I bought a Project 40, and I bought
first box purchase was
Filthy Hooligan. No, I know what my first box was. We talked about this. It was the Acid Cuba Cuba when I was like 18 or 19. That was my first box purchase.
How about you, Alex?
My first box purchase was the original 601 Blues.
Oh, wow. Eric's going to like hearing that.
Wow.
The original batch of 611 Blues was pretty good. That was some good. That's right up there with the CAO Maduro that was made at the Donald Douglas factory as part of like,
Hector Alfonso said his first was the Nat Sherman Telegraph, his first box purchase.
Wow.
How about you, Omar?
I was going to say, Omar, first box purchase.
First box purchase, Hemingway short story.
Oh, another Fuente.
And by the way, just speaking of Cameroons, the New World Cameroon is a monster in the stores. I mean, people go nuts for it.
Yeah. Great value. It's a great value cigar. Yeah.
Amazing. And we just had a price restructure, and even still, it's just unbelievably affordable, and what you get in especially with the Cameroon wrapper.
Right.
Yeah, I know Abe's a big fan.
Well, Cameroon wrapper. Oh, you have one.
I got to be honest. I have none left. I went through them both.
Alex got one of each.
I went through them both.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there'll be a press release for that soon. But
teaser.
Yeah, well, we're not going to do that.
Yeah, we'll save it for Coop.
That's I was in Miami doing business and was able to get a couple batches that we've been patiently waiting for a future microblend. So we have a new smoking microblend that we'll be doing with AJ Fernandez, our first one with that company. We're excited.
Hey.
And the cigars are good.
Very good.
Good.
Oh yeah.
Good.
I can't decide which one I like better.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Paul, we would have saved you some, but we smoked them all.
Yep. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Well, listen to me. You know the cigar is good because they only sent 20 cigars, right? So one of the packs had been open and Omar already had some. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to take these 2 bundles back and take them back to our team. So we get, and it's like, oh, no, wait. I need a couple more of each before you leave. You made me do more of my own samples before I left. So that was a true story. So we're excited about this one. I like the name. I like the packaging. I like the art. And there'll be more news released about that in upcoming weeks, maybe sometime in December. So, but you know what's funny, Omar? So maybe you can explain to us, because like I was always a hardcore Cameroon guy. That's why I was really excited when we talked about what blend we were going to work with and then put a Cameroon wrapper for that cigar. But Cameroon just like faded away. And we always talk about these cycles, but Cameroon wrapper is not the easiest to deal with. What are some of the difficulties in dealing with Cameroon wrapper?
Yeah, the yield, the size, it's a difficult wrapper to work with. It's
fragile too.
Fragile.
Yeah, very fragile.
Very fragile. But man, the flavors that you get in it, the sweetness, it's just amazing. And it's weird because, like you said, it faded out for a while, and I don't know if I've heard people say, I just don't like Cameroon, and I'm just like, what? Like that was like when I finally started smoking cigars and found what I liked after trying a bunch of different things. Cameroon was at the top of the list for me.
Cameroon, that wrapper, I think almost anybody could like, because it's not harsh, it's not too strong, but it's flavorful, and it's
flavorful as can be. And
it's not mild air. I mean, when I was getting into smoking and trying to get my friends to do whatever, I'd always look for, Cameroon, try this. You'll love this. So that was like my go-to like recommendation wrapper.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know, everyone has got a different palate, but those people that say I won't touch a Cameroon, my goodness, maybe you just had a bad one, just
probably or a fake one.
A little fugazi,
who use it,
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's out there, so avoid the fugazis.
Mm-hmm.
Coop, the news ain't done yet. What else you got going on this week?
I only got one more story this week because it was a very light week, and this one comes from Southern Drawer Cigars. They've extended their Firethorn brand with an extension called the Firethorn Augusta. It's originally going to be an exclusive to CI, but I think there's plans eventually to expand the line. It's it's a variation of their Firethorn blend, which is an Ecuadorian Rosado wrap, Maduro binder, and Nicaraguan fillers. So Firethorn is Augusta, it's kind of coinciding with the Masters and the whole Veterans Day, which is what Southern Drawer Cigars, veteran-owned company. It's kind of coinciding with that. But most importantly, where's the cigar coming from? AJ Fernandez's factory. So AJ was all over the news this week, and this was not by design. This is the truth. They had all the stories this week.
Do you ever look at who the guest is and when you're trying to pick stories?
Oh, I do. Don't get me wrong, I do. But if you look at Coop this week, there's not much else. I told Paul it was a light week. To be honest with you, these were the stories we got. So I mean, it's out there. But yeah, no. When I see a story with a guest, I definitely try to do it. And sometimes you guys talk about it before my segment, and I usually adjust it at that point.
Oh, look, he moves on,
adjusting on the fly.
He moves on the fly. Well, we never really know what your news is, so we do it on accident sometimes.
Yeah. No, but I mean that's okay.
We didn't talk about, so sometimes we just, end up talking about something on accident.
Well, most of the times I don't have the show notes ready on time, and so I can't blame Paul for it. It's my fault. So,
what a guy Coop is. I totally would have thought.
I got to defend. I got to defend Paul on that one. It's if don't that's not Paul.
He usually posts them like either while like as we're doing the show before he comes on, sometimes after.
Sometimes after.
Coop, you got a Stone Cold lead pipe pick of the week yet?
Boy, I tell you, this was a crazy week for football. Because I was wondering if some of the games were going to get postponed or anything like that. But I looked at this week's. Now, if folks don't know, the Stone Cold Lead Pipe Lock of the week is I pick one game, with point spread, and based on that, I either sink or swim with that. I have not officially posted this, but I'm leaning towards taking Pittsburgh -7.5 over Cincinnati.
Okay.
Steelers are at home in that game.
We actually,
Alex, I'm not touching the Eagles-Giants game. I'm not touching the Eagles-Giants game. I can tell you that.
Well, we actually had a little bit of a disagreement this week, and Paul, maybe you can pull it up, but you were a fan of the new 76ers jersey.
I like it.
New Jersey.
Huh?
I didn't even know they had a New Jersey.
You said you liked it.
Yeah. Now I have. Here's the thing: if folks haven't seen the jersey, there's a new Philadelphia 76ers jersey. The team, Alex and I like. And on there is a silhouette of an area called Boathouse Row. Now, I'll be honest with you: if you're not from Philadelphia, you might not know what Boathouse Row is.
It's
okay,
just not indicative of Philly to me.
but I have to. Yeah, I love that area. So I loved it was on the jersey.
I mean,
I'm looking for it. I don't see it.
Why use a place that no one would know?
When Philly has a decent skyline, no, it's not like they don't have a
Yeah,
skyline.
they do. They have a beautiful sign.
Paul, where are we at? You got the jersey?
I don't see it.
Even when you see 76ers New Jersey.
No, I got it.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Come on, Paul.
Yeah, it should be pretty easy to find.
76ers New Jersey.
Now, Alex, I think they should have just kept the classic red, white, and blue that they went back to. I mean, look, that's what we won the last championship with, and I like what they did with it. It's not like I didn't like it.
I'm
black, right, Alex?
Yes, and it has these houses that are. It's Boathouse Road, literally probably the only place in Philadelphia you can find houses that look like that. Throw it up there.
Here it comes.
I can't point.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. That's a picture that sent me.
That's Abe at 6 months.
What the hell is that?
That's what we can afford.
That's 6 months with your baby picture.
Look, that's what you look like.
Daycare? Is that a daddy daycare like promo or something?
Sorry. Here's the 76ers jersey.
Yeah, that is not indicative of Philadelphia. That Boathouse Row.
I agree with Alex on it. It is not. I mean, there are more iconic locations that people will be aware of than. But like I said, if you go to if you buy that area, but a school, it's a nice area. I love that view actually. So I was happy to see it on there. But I just don't think.
Did you notice the little TTP trust the process they threw in there? Apparently, the process is like 10 years old now and still has.
Yeah, it looks like power lines.
Right.
Wait, pull back up again. Pull back up again. Let me see something.
Hold on, I'm gonna get it.
Did you see the little TTP
I'm getting the one
in there?
with the TTP. I'm getting the one with the TTP.
Got the
Give me 1 second.
looks like power lines in front of the house or circuit board.
Yeah, StubHub logo on there.
Yes, that's the way it's going here. Oh, look at that.
You didn't see that, Coop? So that was
I didn't see that. No, I didn't see that. I heard people mention it, but I'm like, what does that mean? But yeah, now I see it. Wow. Trust the process.
So anyway, to fill people in, trust the process was the Sixers' little tagline when they were kind of rebuilding the team and they were going to bring a championship to the city, which, still hasn't happened. So it's been a long process, but some of us are still trying to trust the process.
This week I know we tangented on sports, but this week, yesterday came news that the Miami Marlins hired the first woman general manager. And I'll be honest, I was hoping a few years ago that the Phillies would have taken a look at Kim Ng because I've heard of her. She was with the Dodgers and the Yankees, and there was a lot of good things everyone was saying about her. And they didn't take it. They didn't do it 4 years ago, and they're not doing it this time, unfortunately.
What were we going to say, Abe?
When did the movement of every jersey having a sponsor on it happen?
broke up.
Been around a little bit.
Was I asleep when that happened?
About a year or two.
Yeah,
They tried
no,
it.
I remember reading about it.
Yeah, I'm sure those little patches ain't cheap to put on a jersey.
It's big money.
No, they've been
money.
doing it. Soccer's been doing it for a long time. The
Right.
soccer teams have been doing it. Probably they were
Yeah.
more. Yeah, and the MLS started then. It was Europe first in the MLS game. It was only a matter of time before it was going to come to the other sports, and you're going to see more of it now because again, these teams need revenue streams, but they're not selling tickets.
Sadly, I couldn't name 3 MLS teams.
Philadelphia Union, the Philadelphia
I
Union.
won. I said I couldn't name 3, and I know
The New
Miami.
York Cosmos, the Red Bulls. I don't know anyone else.
What did you say?
Red
The
Bulls? Is that
Cosmos?
a real team?
Did you say the Cosmos?
You just make one up.
No, I think it's New
No,
York.
the Cosmos are-
Are they still
It's not the
around? Because when I grew up, it was the Cosmos and the Chicago Sting.
Yeah, no, the Cosmos are not an MLS team, but the Cosmos name is still out there.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah, is the Chicago Sting around? Carl Heights, Granitza, Marhetic? That's the only thing I can remember.
No,
from
the Sting name's not around anymore.
Nah, the Chicago Sting. Couldn't pronounce any of the players' names.
The Willie Raw.
When we were growing up, seriously, Carl Heights, Granitza, something Marhetic. I couldn't remember any of the names. Crazy. So that's all. What do you got? Anything coming up on the show? What do you got this upcoming? What 80,000 episodes do you got coming up this week, Coop?
The only
With your
show this
twin.
week, yeah, this week Dylan Austin has been confirmed. He'll be the guest on Thursday night on the primetime show. And then on our jukebox show, which is our music show, we're doing a Led Zeppelin tribute show on Monday. So a little bit of a lighter week compared to last week.
Okay, well, not a lot. Well, while I got you here, Omar, because you kind of hit on Glenn Looper, I want to talk about where the company is in regards to the PCA in this upcoming summer, if we have one, if there's a plan for AJ Fernandez to be an exhibitor. Because I know there was a point last year, I believe, where I think AJ Fernandez kind of made a statement they weren't going to go to the trade show. And Paul, you can correct me if I'm wrong, because my head gets Swiss cheese in my older age. But I think a month later, maybe a couple weeks later, they changed that statement and they said they were going to. This is obviously all pre-COVID, but they were going to go to the PCA. So where does the company AJ Fernandez stand currently?
We will be at the PCA if there is a whatever capacity is happening, whether it's a live trade show or virtual or whatever goes on, we will be there. Remember earlier this year, January to be exact, there was a rumor and there was a story that was published that kind of hinted, I guess the headline said something to the effect that we were not going to exhibit, and that was not true. Remember, I was actually in Vegas at TPE end of January, right before the first day of the show. That story came out in end of January, and everyone was calling me saying, "What's going on? Is this true? Is there any truth to it?" So I said, "I'll be at the show in a few minutes," and told everybody, "That's not true. We will be there." So I don't know how that got out there. I don't know where it came from, but we will be there. I mean, listen, it's the consumer, it's the show for the brick and mortar stores, for the purveyors of fine cigars. How could we not be there? It blows my mind how anyone could think that we would not be there in some capacity. Is it going to change? Is it going to be something different? We don't know. I don't know what's going to happen and how it's going to look, but we're definitely going to be there. Our job is to distribute AJ Fernandez cigars to the retailers in the United States through the retailers. We don't sell direct to consumer, so we depend on our retail partners. So that's the best place to meet a bunch of them in a short span of time. It's not perfect, but it does provide a great opportunity to meet a lot of people, rekindle a lot of relationships, start new ones, and reinforce the old ones. And so we will definitely be there.
So there wasn't, man, I swear, there wasn't a press release from the company saying
no, absolutely not.
Okay.
So that was just rumor.
It was a rumor.
Huh.
It was
a rumor. In fact, I went up to Omar the first day at TPE, and before I said, "Hey, Omar," and he says, "It's not true." He goes to me, he must have told the story like 10 times already by the time I saw him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, how did we not find that out here? Yeah, I remember specifically even talking about it on the show when we had heard about it.
Yeah, I was that was how my phone was blowing up that morning of the show, the first morning, and I'm going, what in the world? Where did this come from? People texting me, you know, and I said, let's talk about it. And, you know, I wanted to address everybody at the same time instead of trying to get a bunch of different stories and people misinterpreting that. It's it was sad to hear, unfortunately, but no, it wasn't true.
Wow.
Good. Well, there you have it. That's why Coop is rumor free.
Yeah,
I can tell you that wasn't reported by me.
No, definitely not. I would have told you.
No, I know, but that's why I said on this show it wasn't reported by me either.
No,
yeah,
no,
I know.
no.
Yeah.
Well, you know, one of the things we see with all the and I'm telling you, you know, we've been asking this question since COVID have hit, and everybody's kind of most part fluffed it. But as a retailer, it's a fact. There are some supply issues. People are hard. There's inventory. There's back orders. How has the back order and inventory and production situation been for AJ Fernandez comparatively?
Well, first of all, what do you mean fluff it? What do you mean they fluff it?
A lot of people are like, oh no, we've had people, we've asked them, do you expect any? No, we got product coming in. There have been guys who like have literally just said they don't foresee a problem. They don't see them having a problem. No production
issues at all. Yeah.
And you know, on the retail side, we've seen nothing but that going on.
Yeah. So I'll tell you exactly what's been going on at AJ Fernandez. Because they're in Nicaragua and the situation that exists in that country, there is not a lot of information about COVID. There has not been a lot of information. If anything, we have information overload here in the United States. Except for recently, it seemed as though you watch the news and there's not a lot of talk about COVID, but now it's picking up again because that story that took the highlight for the past 8, 9, 10 days is dwindling a little bit. But the reality is that what has happened in Nicaragua is it hasn't been a lot of information. So they rely on what they're hearing from us. And so they have taken measures to provide safety and security. But the truth is a lot of people have had people missing work. And so production has been down. The tobacco's there. Okay. Our inventory is there. Has it been slow? Yes. So there are companies that are, you know, the retailers some of them have experienced some very difficult times. Some of them have been forced to shut down, not only for a short period of time. They don't even have an online presence. They didn't have a drive-through type of situation. So it's been tough for a lot of retailers. For us personally, some of our SKUs have been out of stock. It's been more of a box situation where we haven't had boxes available. And AJ doesn't produce boxes because he's just not passionate about carpentry. And that's literally what he's told me. So that's one thing that he relies on many box factories to deliver our boxes. And that's why we've had back order situations. We've been getting a shipment a week since I've been here. And it's strange because some of the things that we've had back ordered are items and cigars that had not been on back order before. Okay. So that's the God honest truth. Yes, I've heard some stories. Some people have really not done well. Employees that don't show up at factories. And so, and there's no, what can you do? You know, either people, you know, imagine that you live in a country where you don't have the news and the experts talking to you every day and giving you what's going on in your city, in your country, which we have here. They don't have that. So they're relying on what they're hearing from us. And then maybe they watched a story that was really, really crazy. And they're like, man, I'm not going to work. This stuff's spreading through air at, 1,000 miles an hour, and I'm not going to work. I don't want to catch it, But, so that's the situation.
It's interesting to hear you say that. It's not just an AJ thing. It seems like boxes have been a struggle for a lot of guys.
Yeah, it's traditionally been an issue in Nicaragua with the wood situation, but as far as it's not a tobacco issue, it's definitely not a tobacco issue.
It's more of a packaging problem.
So what?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So did the factories close down that manufacture the boxes?
I think that's what happens. Is some of them have closed down or have less employees, and they can't keep up with the demand. I was looking at import numbers, and supposedly every country's down over year, this year versus last year at the same time. Even though it seems as though demand is up, and I don't know if demand is up. I'm sure it's up somewhat. Definitely, people are smoking more, but they're getting their cigars in a different way. They're acquiring them in a different way because a lot of lounges have been closed, and then here, this country's so big, we have regional issues. So we have stores that really have not been able to stay open or have not wanted to, and have literally shut their doors, and that's very unfortunate.
Yeah, there are businesses who, oddly enough, have just decided to stay closed because we're open here in Florida, and we drive by places we know they're not out of business or whatever. They just decide to still stay closed. So yeah, it's a very weird. It's gonna be it's gonna be a weird and interesting 2021. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, at the same time, it's really to me, it's uplifting and encouraging to see a lot of retailers that have changed their business model, adapted in these strange times to continue to service their local customers. And that's really encouraging to see that there are still people that are forward thinking and say, you know what, anyone could just shut down and go home and throw in the towel, but to continue to fight and move forward and find another way to continue to provide. A lot of places are providing jobs for a lot of people. You got to think about that as well. You got employees to think about, and every brick and mortar around the country has something that makes them unique. At least it should. And why do people want to come there? It's not just to sit in the lounge and smoke. I hope there's something else that they're doing to attract the everyday business. And then in this difficult time, I think people should continue to try to reach out to their local store and say, hey, I still need to pick up my AJ Fernandez cigars, my New Worlds, and my Last Calls. Can I drive by and pick them up? I've heard of stores that have been shut down many times by law enforcement, and the owners going in and picking up boxes and delivering them door to door.
Yeah, well, you got to do. I mean, look, got to find the path, right?
Absolutely.
You got to pivot, and you have to find the path. Otherwise,
absolutely,
you get run over.
Yeah.
How's it in your area, Coop?
Sorry, I was on mute. That it's I think it's close to business as usual again, but it's going to be interesting what happens this winter right now. The places like yours, Abe, that have the bars were really affected in that they couldn't open at all for months. So they were completely and totally shut down, and they just got restrictions lifted a few weeks ago, and now I think there's a fear of uncertainty heading back into the winter this year.
There is a little bit of uncertainty. I think our governor here will keep us in check here, and get us through it. But man, my heart goes out to some part of these countries. I think are just going to get starting to get.
People in New York are seeing it again. I mean, things are closing down there again.
No, but it's the hypocrisy driving that. The same people who are shutting down the towns are having French laundry dinners and galas, and it's just a joke.
They went to in California. They went to one of your favorite places. They all went to the French Laundry, and then all had to make apology statements and how they were kind of shouldn't have been there, but Yeah,
and then telling people how not to get with their families for Thanksgiving.
Right.
It's going to be an interesting 2021. It's going to be an interesting.
Go
ahead,
I made a decision to cancel my trip actually to Florida.
Now
there were a few factors that went into that. Like I said, I am a little bit of a higher risk compared to most people, but at the same time, if things are starting to change and I can't meet with certain people, it was going to be more difficult. So I don't want to make anyone uncomfortable either. We have Thanksgiving coming this year with my family. I didn't want to get them into a situation where they had to be worried about me who was traveling. Not they were pushing back on me, and I just didn't want to create that situation. So I rescheduled for January. We'll just see what happens.
Yeah. Maybe push it to February. Come up and do some live work on the Great Smoke.
Yeah,
there you go.
Well, maybe do both. We can maybe do both.
I like how you think, William Cooper.
Yeah, I definitely want to be part of it.
So I woke up this week with a sore throat and like a little bit of a runny nose congestion.
Did you
and when
freak
I
out?
called the doctor,
Panic set in.
I didn't. But my doctor said you should get a COVID test because they're saying that those are symptoms of the start of COVID. So I went and got a test. I was negative, but it like went through the family. So like Axel started with it, then I got it, then Eli has it, now Stephanie has it. But we did it before we went to Disney just to make sure, like, we don't want to be the people that are the super spreaders if we had it. So, and my parents are here in Vero, so we were going to see them a few times while they're here for a few weeks. So I didn't want to be that, like Coop is saying. I thought I was fine. Like I didn't feel like deathly ill or anything, but I just wanted to make sure I wasn't the guy spreading it to everybody else. But I'm almost 100% back to normal. So it was just a cold, I think. But it's, now that it's in the back of your mind now that you don't want to be that guy that has it and has very mild symptoms, and then you go somewhere and see a bunch of people and give it to them.
Man, I tell you, I got real bad allergies. So I am prone to sneezing.
Yeah.
Alex has seen them. I can sneeze all day to the point where I actually pull like abdomen muscles, right? And I can't tell you. Yeah, like, I've had pains. I'm like, why is this hurting?
Yeah.
It's been sneezing all day. I forgot. So I'm to the point now where, like, if I'm in a pharmacy, I'm doing everything in my power to stifle a sneeze. I'm
Right.
Oh, pull one of those in public nowadays.
Yeah, stifling my own sneeze.
Dude, there's been times at the shop where I've like ran into the walk-in to let a cough out.
Yeah.
And go hide in the back because
Right.
all eyes on me.
Yeah, I'm just telling you, man. Stifle a sneeze. And the worst thing is, especially when you're out, you got these masks. Last thing you want to do is sneeze into a mask. Ugh.
Right.
Ugh. I know that's what it's for, but it's gonna rest. I've gotten caught a couple times, and you had to do that like little, because I wear the gaiters, so I got to do the little. Try to
Let me tell you. Oh, first of all, those are not allowed in Disney. The gators.
Oh, gators are not.
No.
Oh,
No.
because the plane masks are so much better.
Reschedule your
No,
trip.
because it doesn't seal. It doesn't seal properly, I guess, around the bottom. So they have all these rules. You can't have the ones with the little vents on the side either. They have all these rules, but I'll tell you. I mean, we went. It's beautiful now. It was like 80.
What about the whole bubble box kit? That
Wait, here's the thing though. With it doesn't seal. Now, I used to work in do asbestos work in Philadelphia. If you have a beard, nothing seals. Nothing.
Yeah,
A respirator
yeah.
doesn't seal.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You worked with asbestos?
I did asbestos removal for a little while in Philadelphia. Great job. Great paying job.
That explains it all.
Yeah. It explains my mesothelioma that I suffered from.
Why didn't they make you shave, Paul, so you could have a good seal with a mask?
I haven't shaved in. I couldn't tell you when the last time was that I shaved.
I
It's gotta be
am. I
before
may
lived in
be
Florida.
more afraid of Paul shaving than I was of Abe shaving, which was not a good thing.
Oh, now I'm gonna shave. Listen, I really haven't shaved recently because I've gotten so fat. It's a great
It hides your chin.
Oh yeah. That's the main reason why I haven't shaved. I'd like to see on the reverse side. I'd love to see Coop with a beard. Can you grow a beard, Coop?
There are pictures of me on my Facebook page with a beard.
Oh, you gotta share. You gotta find them.
Yep.
I'll find them. Yeah, I know they've come up on like my show. It's come up. Yeah, but there are pictures with me with a beard.
I
think it was. Yeah.
Double bonus points if you can find one with beard and hair.
You gotta go back a long way though. Yeah, but there was both. But you have to go back a long. The photo was taken, I think, 1998.
The photos of
MySpace.
hair are not going to be on Facebook.
And here's a bonus point. The bonus points are if you find the photo, you'll see a picture of my wife in it.
Oh, see, now that's a rare find.
That's a rare find. Yeah.
Coop, I'm looking. I don't see.
I'll find it.
I'll find it and we'll post it.
Coop posts a lot, so you're gonna have to go way back if you're saying we got to go back there.
He doesn't post a lot of photos of himself, though.
While you're looking,
why would I?
Wow.
I'm just. That's
right?
what.
Why would I?
While you're looking, I'm going to read this week's Cigar Insane Asylum, which
yes. Let me put the banner up.
Yeah, it's pretty bad, but I'll read it anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You putting it up? Here we go. Cigar Insane Asylum. This week's inductee needed to really dig deep down in her soul to find any good. An Indian woman in Mumbai who was married this past September filed a police report on the grounds that she was cheated into marrying a man who wasn't who he claimed to be. The woman is claiming that she and her family should receive their dowry back. I didn't know they still did dowries. Really?
Yep. In India.
For her recent marriage on the grounds that she was cheated into marrying a man who she was led to believe had a full head of hair. Really, Paul? This one hit a little home, maybe? So,
lie to my wife.
It turns out that they had been married, and the woman discovered that her new husband was wearing a wig. He had no idea she was wearing a bald man and claimed the woman in her police report she had been duped. The police are now asking the man to surrender to their custody by turning himself in. Really, is there like a all points bulletin out on this dude for a fake marriage?
I didn't check the Indian crime bureau, but
You
yeah,
check the
that's what it
blotter?
says in the article.
Blotter?
No.
Apparently, he did indeed lie, and he and his family have a dowry to return. Congratulations, Mr. Bald Hater. You are this week's inductee into the Cigar Insane Asylum.
No, Mrs. Bald Hater. She's the one that belongs in
Whatever. I blame Eric Espinosa for this Insane Asylum this week.
Oh, I think this
More
is
importantly,
Ooh.
That's it. That's the picture.
Oh, send that to Paul so we can screen share that. Oh my God. You know what that looked like? What are those little figurines with the big eyes that everybody's all into now?
Precious Moments.
No,
yeah, I don't know what they're called.
they're like the bobbleheads, but they're like little toys.
And they have the big head. Yeah, I don't know what they're
It
called.
looked like one.
I sent it to you, Paul.
But I blame Eric Espinosa because I was on La Zona Palooza. We couldn't have a pre-KMA show, and we don't have a pre-show, and I have to read the Asylum for the first time live on the air. This is what you end up with. Sorry, guys. I apologize.
Wow, wow.
Yeah, awful Asylum. But yeah, can anybody on our page, on our friend, tell me what I'm talking about? What do they call those things? They're like collectibles. They make them like I've seen like the Guardian of the Galaxy one.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Funko. Thank you, Hector, my man.
That was sneeze, not COVID.
Funko, the little Funko heads.
What?
Yeah,
Funko?
I couldn't tell from your. Yeah, Google it. I could. Well, let's see. Put it side by side up. I'll put a Funko in that picture. Let's see how similar.
Oh, hold on, I'm still trying to get Coop's picture upload. Coop, is this you here?
That is what my that's what my
That's one, and I sent you one, Paul.
I know.
That George
have that
Michael
one too,
5
but-
o'clock shadow right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my son.
Wow, just proof how getting old sucks.
Full head of hair.
Yeah, good. Hair falls out at random.
How early were you when your hair went out?
Probably my mid-30s. Probably
Oh,
around
yeah, look at that
34,
picture.
35, yeah.
I'm gonna guess that's your mom and dad. Yeah.
No,
That's his wife, Abe.
now that's my wife on the right, and
Oh,
in the
sorry.
middle is a person by the name of Kurt Smith. He's the lead singer for Tears for Fears.
Oh yeah, I don't have my glasses on. I'm sorry.
Yep. So my wife's gonna love the fact he's now been broadcast on KMA radio. She'll never know.
Maybe I should have cut her out.
No, that's okay. It's okay. I mean, it's on Facebook. It's on Facebook, so it's public out there. You just found it. So, yeah,
Coop,
that
you were a
picture was
stud.
taken.
How old were you here?
I was 31.
Look at that beautiful chest hair.
That chest hair, though. That cardigan.
You guys are killing me.
That was a denim shirt I was wearing. And I forget
Oh,
why
yeah,
I was
look at
wearing that
that.
denim shirt. I forget why I was wearing a denim shirt that day, but my wife and I were in New York City, and we met Kurt Smith in the East Village.
So you were a Tears for Fears fan?
I'm still a Tears for Fears guy.
Let's hear some.
Oh no.
Hector said that's not a beard.
Yeah.
That counts.
You know, amazing. That picture was found pretty quick. You guys did good work. This is the A team we have here. Because that picture was found very quickly.
investigative reporting at its best. I'm trying to find the closest Funko doll that might look like you.
Now, Abe, I saw some pictures of you with hair, so I mean, we could go down that road too.
Yes.
There's some classics out there I saw.
Yes.
Yeah, we all had hair. All those bald guys had hair at one point or not.
There was a time.
Yeah, Paul, you're next.
I mean, I think we've shown pictures of me with hair. I'm not 100% sure. I mean, I had at one point I had really good hair, like the part in the middle and the long flowing locks. Those were the days.
What is it? The wings? What do they call it? Wings?
That was more like, I don't know. In the '90s, it was cool to like have longer hair and part it in the middle.
Yeah, yeah.
So I had that haircut. No, it was not a bowl cut. maybe when I was like 6 years old, I don't know. No, I always had crew cuts.
Hey, Paul, I just sent you an image before we check out. We got 5 minutes left.
Okay.
See if you can get that up next to Coop. I think they look very similar.
Give me a moment.
I can't wait to see this.
Talk amongst yourselves while I'm doing it, because
I think it look. So, Omar, any exciting stuff you want to talk about? Let our friends know. Let our fans know about AJ Fernandez. Anything going on?
Yeah, we got a couple new things coming out soon. I'm excited about what we're going to do.
Well, anything you could talk about.
What happened?
Anything that you could talk about.
No, we'll break it as time goes on. But yeah.
When are the rounds hitting the market?
They hit this week.
Okay,
they started shipping. You should be getting them pretty soon.
All right, good to know.
Yeah, Kyle will be harassing you. So
nice head of hair, by the way, Omar.
Thank you. Yeah, I didn't wear my hat very often when I played baseball. I hate wearing a cap.
Really?
Yeah, I would take it off when I got off the field.
One thing we didn't talk about is pitchers are all crazy, in my experience.
Oh, well.
A lot of – no offense, Omar, but you can probably admit that the most eccentric men on a baseball team are always the pitchers.
I think so.
In my opinion.
I was a lax guy when I wasn't pitching. I was really intense about 30 minutes before the game started. When I started getting loose, it's like a switch would come on. It was different. The rest of the time I was joking, having a good time, enjoying it. That's why I liked doing stuff that the people we had that did what you used to do. And I always participated in all that.
All right, here we go. Here's Coop.
Oh boy, here we go.
Here is his Funko. Wait, is this Coop or Omar that you sent me, Abe?
No, I think it looks like Coop's young picture, the one that he just posted. If you look at that, and you look at the picture, look, see? No?
The eyes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could kind of see it.
Yeah.
No?
No, I don't see it. Maybe the eyes. Okay, maybe I see what you're saying with the you cut the head. Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
because my head was too squished.
I was trying to find one with the right hair, maybe with a 5 o'clock show. They all have different.
Maybe we need a Coop Funko in the near future.
There you go.
There you go.
That's it.
All right. Well, listen, I want to
have Saka do it. Have Saka do it, and then they'll be given away with no problem.
By the way, those 3 feet Saka squatches have hit the ground. We never really measured it, but there's big debates. No one says it's really 3 feet big. But I don't know.
Oh, you think it's smaller?
I didn't even really notice it, but I guess I took a picture of it with it. But they said that it being next to me would automatically make it look like not 3 feet big.
Right. It's hard to gauge with you.
Yeah, I don't know. You should measure it, Howard.
I'm going to measure it.
You guys are giving it away. You're not going to keep it?
From
we are giving it away.
You're not going to keep it in the store?
Red Meat Lover. I have two in the store.
Oh, okay.
Red Meat Lovers Club. 2020 Meat Box Press is dropping officially now December 9th. So on December 9th, I think we're going to start sales early in the day, about noon Eastern Standard Time. We'll have a big virtual event with Saka that night, right? And at the end of the event, we're going to give away one of those 3-foot Saka squatches. Somebody's going to get one in their.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Allegedly 3 foot.
Allegedly. It really is allegedly.
In that camp?
I can't tell you if it's 3 foot or not.
Alex, you don't think it's 3 feet?
No, I mean, if it's not, it's close. If it's not, it's close. It's
I mean, it could be like 29 inches, 28.
Right. I mean,
it's 20 incher, maybe 32, maybe 32.
Maybe
If
30.
he stood up tall, he would be 3 feet.
Well, he's a little crouched, you know.
Okay.
Yeah,
But you know, they're going to be a big hit, man. Everybody's going to want one, so it should be fun. All right, next week, Omar. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure having
thank you, Omar.
KMA and Agent Fernandez represented here on KMA for the first time in a long time. So I hope you enjoyed yourself. It was a pleasure having you. Coop, my man, as always, thank you for your contributions every week, giving KMA the little bit of class it needs.
Hey, thank you very much for having me. Great to be the first one from AJ Fernandez on here. It took a while, but we're here, right? And
good.
Looking forward to a lot of big things, and sharing the screen here with Coop is always a neat treat.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yep.
Good stuff. Well, gentlemen, enjoy your weekends. Next week, Jonathan Drew Estate. Never a boring show. We got a lot of stuff to catch up with Jonathan, talk about some cool stuff. And there it is. I don't know. Does that look like it's 3 feet? I don't know.
It's like 31.
Yeah.
No, but I'll tell you what, you look thin in that picture, dude.
Oh, yeah.
You look good, man.
I've taken some classes for a lot of these women I know that have a master's class in optical.
Photo like this.
Whatever, bro. I've seen these angles, man.
You're learning that on TikTok.
I will text somebody who knows. I'm like, who is this person? Because it is not what's in these photographs. Yes, it's all about the optical photography. So yes,
nice.
Give us some guesses on Facebook, and then I'll go measure it and see what it actually is.
Throw some guesses.
Oh yeah.
Let's see what you guys think. How big that? Put that picture up. I'm gonna give him one last chance. Guess and shoot. Maybe if somebody hits the exact measurement on the nose, we'll send them a KMA swag pack. Right. So measure that out. See what you think. How big do you think that statue is? Is it 3 feet or is it not 3 feet? That is the question. All right.
Awesome.
Next week, Jonathan Drew. In the meantime, all our fans all over the country, keep it lit.